3 score in terms of kill score, but if we take a look at what's happening in the bot side part of though, look at that. I mean, there's a lot of pressure coming up from the Misfortune, and we talk about the how fast can clear this marksman ADCs we got in the game. Definitely, the Misfortune got an upper advantage because you have to wait for the TPS to come through that Jinx before he can match up into sometime mid to late game.
I mean, the thing is also like early game, Misfortune is in a really good spot with Brawl on her side, mainly because that ricochet ability is just so damn good. The range is insane, damage that comes out is pretty insane. It's very low cooldown, and his also the mana cost is not all that insane. So pretty much like you are asking with the Misfortune in the laning stage to dominate the early game. If they can do so, it should be good. But they're going for Drake, while in the top side, we're going to have 1 kill on top of the Akali.
Yeah, actually, that was a 1-for-1 trade. Everyone's just going aggressive for some unreasonable thing, but for the meantime, anyway, this is a contest on the side of NXP. So I think taking the dragon and at the same time taking a kill, despite a Ryzen dying on the top side, is still much more good profit for the side of Nexplay. In the middle lane though, you just see that Gragas getting bullied by Chuli in the middle lane. Chuli was actually less than life, so it's kind of risky play, but you know, sometimes you'll never know if you're not really.
Oh, your voice cut.
Am I still here?
Oh yeah, like your voice cut at the end. I didn't know if you were done, but you know what? Got a fight, so that's gonna be for you again.
Alright, a team fight happening in here of Team CHAKAIMOOK. Because of the moment, lots of members from the side of NXP actually going solo, but backup coming from Chile, but they're not gonna be sitting on that one since that's 4 members we're talking about from the side of CHAKAIMOOK. So lots of answers, 7-6. We can't say. I mean, we almost saw that lead from the side of NXP, but sometimes they go for display when they should have not done anymore. Like, okay, they tried to go for it, or maybe they just got caught up. Meantime, on the top side, you can see that Garen is getting punished by a Ryzen right under the very own turret, but he has to be very careful because the backup in here, or the answer in here, coming from the Misfortune, slowing him down would make it rain. Gonna go for that double thanks to the protection coming from the Brawl. But everyone's just currently just scattered in here as of the moment. Ultimate coming out from that Olaf though, gonna take down that Misfortune as well. Brawl can't do anything but just hide under the turret as well. But the position for the Rift Herald is in the hands of Nexplay Esports.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice, easy Herald pickup, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. Unfortunately, Garen was not there to back up the fight, so that made matters really, really bad for them. And Herald is indeed going to get picked up by the Olaf. Now the question is, what are they going to do with this Herald push? Of course, normally you want to try and crack open the first mid lane turret, as I always say. Yes, I know I say it every single time, but because it is that important. And I'm intrigued to see if they're going to try and potentially use it for that, or if they just want to try and use it as a point of pressure. Once the Drake tends to respawn, you've got so many different ways to use Herald. I want to see how Nexplay are going to try and use it. But seeing how they have such an emphasis and focus on taking jungle objectives, I would not be surprised to see them use it pretty late in the time of that Herald overall. But now a lot of players are going to regroup in the mid lane for the sub CHAKAIMOOK. Seems like they are somewhat maybe preparing for Herald push to be like, okay, we want to make sure we don't lose this one, which could be happening pretty soon. But so far, this game is taking a little bit of a slow pace. Still, though, we have a 3.5 to 4k gold lead so far in favor of none other than Nexplay themselves. And they've been on a lead. They won their matchup early versus 16-bit, dominantly 3-0. And seems like they want to try and do another one as Misfortune is going to get dived up here.
Oh man, somehow there's already this jungle difference already. All of this wild in here, but they gotta be careful because the Gragas answer back and some of the members in here from but I mean they gotta deal with a lot of damage coming up from who's in here being empowered by disaster. He's gonna fall down. I mean this Gragas is save his teammate. You can see 4-1 score for him so far, but unfortunately though this turret is gonna fall down. So in the end, I mean that is also some map created for a Nexplay Esports. But despite we can see this number going in favor in terms of gold for the side of Nexplay, somehow we can still say that okay, CHAKAIMOOK can still answer back. But they are when team fights happens, they're just not in a good position. I mean they're scattered and it seems like they're not organized. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just thinking, how did those 3 players survive in the tower there? I was like, there's no way they're going to survive, and then they pick up 2 kills right after. It's sure they lose the turret, but like, that's so impressive. But now we're going to have to fight over the Cloud Drake into the pit, as the Jarvan is going to go for the engage.
Yes, they're gonna go all out in here, but look at it! That Blaze just targeting, focus firing onto the Misfortune, and this is the perfect play that you're gonna be looking for from Nexplay Esports. That's almost a wipe out, and Gragas in here, I don't think he can do anything unless the members from the side of Nexplay Esports are gonna be throwing themselves in here under the turret in the mid. But then again, man, that was a 4-man wipe out. Gonna give more gold, 7k gold lead so far onto the hands of Nexplay Esports. I think the turret's gonna go down anytime soon, unless there's a miracle that would happen in here as the backup comes through from the Misfortune. And yes, they're gonna be saving this turret one up, but they'll lose a turret up top.
I mean, Nexplay just pulled that one off perfectly. You remember the game we had earlier where it was actually the Camille that stole away the Drake? Sorry, not the Drake, the Baron. Just a few games ago. And actually, this is how you avoid that happening. You bait the fight by forcing the objective on the Drake. Then the moment they try and get too close, you catch them off guard and you reverse the fight, take the engage, and once the fight is taken, then go back to the Drake. That's how you do it. That's how I was expecting the Baron fight a few games ago to happen when the Camille stole it, and this is how you avoid that from happening. So overall, really well executed from Nexplay. They are shown once again that they are one of the best teams in the Eastern region as of yet. As I'm going to be having Harrison just getting a little bit deep there, a little bit split away. Almost got the farm to Garen, but Garen goes back to base as now Baron is spawned on the map. And whoever wins the next fight might be able to get himself a sweet Baron up their sleeve to make things even easier for them in the long run. But also, we did not talk heavily about the Herald push actually, Kasaya. Like, the Herald push in the bot lane was really intriguing. And they were able to get themselves 1 extra turret off of it. But I think that overall, they got very little off of 1 Herald. I think they could have got way more, as Zed is looking for maybe a little bit more than he can actually chew. He's just going to be swooping away from that one, making sure he doesn't get caught off guard.
Yeah, for sure. But on the composition, basing on the composition of Team Nexplay Esports in here, you can see that both the Kali as well as Zed starting to go on a prior push on the side lanes. And this is just the Lulu Jinx. Oh, but we talk about the getting him coming from the Jarvan. But fortunately enough, though, he got a flash of it. And here to back up from the rest of the members of Nexplay Esports. They're gonna go all in, even on the turret of Team CHAKAIMOOK. Gonna go for that play from the Gragas, but it's not gonna help. Are you gonna give him a pen to the side? Okay, looks like they're fine with the Quadra, but that's looking so great for the side of Nexplay. And there's no questions asked. Of course, they have all the right to even start off this Baron.
I mean, 12k gold lead, like, in 11 minutes, slowly making our way to the 12-minute mark. Like, how do you come back from this? You just can't. Nexplay have already won this. I'm going to point it out. They are just so damn far ahead. They got 10 kill lead, which is not, like, insane, but, like, the conversion rate from kills to how much gold lead they currently have is just astonishing on its own. Well, Zed really likes to invade, though. He's just going solo. I mean, he is super slippery, so I can get it, but, like, he is going for that one. He's going to be ulting on top of the Gragas, but he's now caught up in a really bad spot.
Well, the Zed, what he's been doing in here, he's just got 1 FF in here. He just finds where
got them all low.
The Misfortune is. Yeah, when he gets a FF onto Focus Fire onto the Misfortune, but how about, because we talk about the bullet time connecting onto a lot of members inside of Nexplay Esports in here. Here we go with the Garen falling down as well. That shield from the Brawl, will it be able to do anything? Yes, it's going to give some protection. But then again, that's a lot of damage we talk about. I mean, this is a Jinx, okay, for as long as she's fine. She already gets excited for as long as whether she gets a kill or an assist. She's definitely fine with it. And you got to be careful with that one. But for the meantime, here we go with 2 fights happening in the map as of the moment. The Gragas are going to be making use of that Stasis enchant, but then again, it's just going to fall down on the hands of the excited Jinx. As of the moment, lots of members on the side of Team CHAKAIMOOK just falling down one by one. I don't think the Jarvan, if he shows himself, can do anything about it.
So, you remember a few minutes ago when I said 12,000 gold lead? Now it's 16,000. And they're actually looking for a little bit more now, so they are Like, they built up a lead and they're just increasing that lead all the time, which is usually what you do. You get a lead and you keep on increasing that lead without doing any mistakes. And so far, Nexplay have made 0 mistakes. They crack open the base in the mid lane. They got full control over the entirety of the map. They got the Baron push, like the Baron buff too. Like, they got everything in their arsenal that they could potentially ask for. The next thing they want to go for is potentially this this Mountain Drake. And then they're going to try and finish off the game. Their next focus should be Mountain Drake, force a fight if they come. If they don't, just get Mountain Drake, then try and look for a fight, and then close the game after that. That is exactly how they should end it, and knowing how they tend to play, Nexplay are going to do exactly that in the seconds to go. But Zed, solo diving on top of this Gragas, a shield is going to be required to keep him alive. But man, this Zed, he does not give a damn. He's just invading every time. He's feeling like a tank, but no, he's squishy as hell, and yet feeling so confident.
This is where you want to make sure, before you go in, make sure you have a way to go. For the meantime, on the top side, we can see the 1v1 fight happen between the Akali as well as the Garen, with Garen falling down. And then again, a backup came in here from the Jarvan, but apparently will have to fall down with a backup that just came in from the side of Team Nexplay. And even that, Akali just securing that kill. Look at that, going wild! Jinx in here, gonna go for the killing spree as well. She's just so excited with the passive, just capitalizing on that one. And I think this is gonna be it anytime soon. I mean, that was an ace, man. So here we go. Congratulations to Nexplay Esports, just showing some dominance from that game.
I gotta say, I've been casting Wild Rift for very little amount of time. And one team that's been always standing out to me is Nexplay. And I think that Nexplay currently are my favorite team when it comes down to Wild Rift competitive right now. Like, they're just, like, especially if I want to talk about their players, like, Arisen is my favorite player currently. That guy is absolutely insane on any character he plays. But it's just the entire team has been playing really strongly. Their macro is really good, their map awareness is really strong, their team play is on point. Every single aspect of the game they touch upon, or they're just good at it, or they're just perfect at it, and there's nothing to do against that. And looking on the other side, sure, CHAKAIMOOK, they're still a really good team, but they've still got things to improve on. And when you're going up against a team like Nexplay, they're just so good on every single point of the game. What can you do? Literally nothing. But also, like, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt also to CHAKAIMOOK, because we're looking at the draft, they got an Olaf, they got a Jinx, they got a Lulu. This is a deadly composition, but let's not forget that because of how the rule set is set up, they cannot play those characters again. So that's like 3 characters that are like on top of the current pick list on Wild Rift that they cannot bring back into the game. So now they're going to have to go for some, slowly start going for some more unusual picks, which might allow CHAKAIMOOK to make a comeback and clean sweep their way back into the lead.
That is for sure, and look at that.
Oh, that god, wow, that's a staircase.
Yeah, it's steady going up top, and we can see the small red at the start, and I think that came from the first blood that happened a while ago onto a Ryzen go, just rising up to redeem for his name, and just answering here and there. And I think it's overall, you know, the team synergy that Nexplay Esports has is just so great. They know what to do when they pull off a composition. They know where to go. Okay, we got a 2 assassin in here. What should 2 assassins do? They're just gonna go for a split push work. Who's gonna be your focus fire for the Zed? We have been seeing that he's just going for the misfortune. You can see that the 7 kills of Chuli, it might just be on that 7 death of misfortune. So yeah, regardless, that was a good game, well played for both of the teams. I think we can call Dave back and maybe try to